morning and welcome to Learn English. Vanakkam. Aankilam Katpom. Lesson 170. பாடம் 170 இந்த வருஷம் 170வது பாடம். Can you remember what we did last week? It's about proverbs. Proverbs என்றால் என்ன? பழமொழிகள். பழமொழிகள் அது சொல்றபடி பழைய அர்த்தமுள்ள மொழிகள். Wisdom. Pearls of wisdom என்று சொல்லுவோம். பல வருடங்களுக்கு முன்னவே இங்கிலீஷ் பழமொழிகள் இருந்து வந்திருக்கின்றன. இதை நீங்கள் கவனமாக விளங்கினால் எழுதும் பொழுதோ கதைக்கும் பொழுதோ பாவிக்கலாம். Speeches and writing you can use it. So today I will continue with a few more. I'll explain the words and then we'll see if there are equal or suitable Tamil palamoligal for these. Now look at the board. Look before you leap. Look before you leap. Look. பாருங்கள். பார்த்து செய்யவும். Before என்றால் என்ன? Before. Before F கொஞ்சம் வளைந்து விட்டது. F இது. Before முதல் முன்னுக்கு. பார்த்து I explained to you in English the verb comes first. So you can't directly translate, you have to change it over. Look பாருங்கள். Before என்றால் before முதல். You leap. Leap. What is leap? பாயிறது. பாயிறது. ஒரு இடத்தை நீங்கள் பாயும் பொழுது பார்த்து பாயுங்கள். அதாவது ஆழம் தெரியாமல். ஆழம் தெரிய வேண்டும். I'll explain the Tamil version later. But you look for the Tamil palamolis for homework. Before you leap. So what happens if you leap before without looking? What will happen? Could be dangerous. It's not safe. You don't jump anywhere unless you know how deep it is, how hard the flow is. That's why it's a warning. Most of the proverbs are kind of pearls of wisdom and you have to think about it. So look before you leap. Everybody should know to read the word look. That's easy. So learn the easy words. What's the second one? What goes up must come down. What goes up must come down. Whatever goes up, anything, fame, rich, anything, you can go see it going up and it will have to come down one day. If you throw a ball up, that comes down. If you climb up a tree and you have to get down from the tree, anything, don't get too carried away with something you have got now because others haven't got. What goes up must come down. So remember that. Always. What? என்ன? Goes. போகிறது. Up. You know the word up? மேலே. Must. கட்டாயமாக. Can come down means it may or may not. But must means it has to come down. There's no probability. It has to come down. Come, வரது. Down, கீழே. Up must come down. So you can use it in your writing. What goes up must come down. Somebody was going very high up in the position, but he made some mistakes, like even Prime Minister Gordon. They're trying to get him down. So you have to be careful. If you're on a high position, you got to think before you say something, you got to look very carefully. Next one. Time and tide wait for none. Time, நேரம். Tide, tide, அலைகள் வருவது. In this country, the waves will come at a certain time. People must come out to the shore. If you go on holiday to some beach seaside here, you'll notice the sea will be far away. The shores will be big. But correct time, the tide will come towards you, and if you don't get out of there, you'll be caught. It comes so fast. So time and tide won't wait for none. Time and tide wait for none. That means that won't wait. That's nature. It has to take place. Find out what the Tamil proverb equal to this. Needn't be the same, but something like that. Time and tide wait for none. Next one. You know the first word. You. What does that mean? Ninga, neer, ni, you. We only have one you. In Tamil, we can say ningal, neer, ni, but in English, you. Always you. You can, with respect, speak to somebody on higher authority, say you. There's no special word. Look at somebody who's doing some work for you, you say ni, you. So there's only one word for ni, ningal, neer in English. Can't. There's a grammar here that you must remember. Cannot reduced to can't, but you have to put this comma, apostrophe. It's called apostrophe. So can, cannot, can't. So if you know where to put the apostrophe, then you can use this apostrophe and write can't. Shorten cannot to can't. You can't have, அதையும் வைத்துக்கொண்டு, you can't have the cake. What is cake? Cake, you have all eaten cakes. Some of you can make nice cakes. Especially, what occasion does your mummy or auntie or someone makes a cake for you? Your birthday. Nowadays, beautiful birthday cakes are made. And the shops will make for you if you order. Wedding cake. That will look different, but cake you eat, and people like to eat cake. And eat it. You can't have the cake in your hand. It's beautiful, it smells good, it looks good, but then you have to eat it. So you can't keep it. You can't do both. You have to eat the cake. That's what it's meant for. If you want to keep it, then you can't eat it. You've got to make up your mind. You can't have the cake and eat it. Can you think of something where you can use this? You can't have the cake. If your daughter is ready to get married and go out with her husband, you can't say, stay here. But at the same time, you want her to get married as well. So you can't have her in your house forever. She'll have to go, and you're happy that she's going. At the same time, you don't want her to go. So you can say, Mom, you can't have the cake and eat it too. One example. Think of other examples. If you want to go abroad, your family will be proud if you go abroad and study or whatever reason. But they won't like you to leave them and go too far. Then we'll say, you can't have the cake and eat it. In England, they use that phrase very often. You can't have the cake and eat it. Choose. Choose between the two. Difficult choice, but you have to make it. Casting pearls before swine. Casting. Casting a net. எறிகிறது. அந்த pearls என்றால் முத்து. முத்துக்களை, before now you know that, before. Pearls, முத்து, எறிகிறது. முத்துக்களை கொடுக்க முடியுமா ஒரு பள்ளி, ஒரு மிருகம். swine என்றால் மிருகம். அதற்கு அதனுடைய அருமை தெரியாது. Casting pearls before a swine is a waste. Casting pearls before a swine is a waste. So, there are lots of occasions you can use that. Casting pearls before a swine is a waste. Waste of something very precious. Pearls are precious, very expensive, and don't waste it. That's what it means. Don't cast pearls before the swine. Give it to somebody who will understand the value of those pearls. Give it to somebody who deserves it. Don't just throw it away to a swine. ஒரு பண்டிக்கு முத்துக்களை கொடுப்பதால் என்ன பிரயோசனம்? You think of a Tamil பழமொழி suitable for that. Next one, it's quite common. It's used very often. All that glitters is not gold. All that glitters is not gold. All, everything, எல்லாம். That glitters, மினுங்கிறது. All that glitters, மினுங்கலாம், ஆனால் மினுங்குவது எல்லாம் தங்கம் அல்ல. மினுங்குவதெல்லாம் தங்கம் அல்ல. இதுக்கு தமிழில் ப்ராப்பராக ஒரு பழமொழி இருக்கிறது. All that glitters is not gold. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for flattery. Don't fall when somebody says, oh, that house is beautiful. You can buy it, buy it, buy it. Don't get fooled. Just because it looks beautiful from outside, are the drainage working? Are the water system working? Electricity, gas, the foundation, are they all right? Get a surveyor to come and check it. That's what it means. All that is good looking maybe not be good. All that glitters is not good. Not gold. Gold and tangam. This is quite nice. Health is wealth. Health. உடல் நலம். உடல் நலம் பணத்துக்கு சமம், செல்வத்துக்கு சமம். உடல் நலம் செல்வத்துக்கு சமம். எவ்வளவு நாங்கள் பணம் இருந்தாலும் உங்களுக்கு சுகம் இல்லாவிட்டால் அதை நீங்கள் அனுபவிக்க முடியாது. You can't enjoy wealth if you are not healthy. Now, let's read these again. Look before you leap. Look before you leap. Write it down. What goes up must come down. Time and tide wait for none. Time and tide wait for none. You can't have the cake and eat it. You can't have the cake and eat it. Casting pearls before a swine. Casting pearls before a swine. All, that's an easy word, all. Even if you don't read much, you should know little words like all. Words like that we often come across in English. Glitters is a big word. Minungual, shiny, anything shiny, it's not gold. That means just because it looks good, it may not be good. So be careful. Do your research. What's this word? It matches with this. Health is wealth. There's no choice. Health is the most important wealth that you can possess. No point in having loads of money in the bank when you can't even enjoy it, when you are so ill. In other words, enjoy it while you can. Some people don't go on holidays. They're saving and saving, and they become ill. And then what can they do? So look after yourself. Health is wealth. All right? Now, look at these proverbs again, and I will start telling you the Tamil equivalent of these. Look before you leap. What do you think it is? Is there one in Tamil? Have you got a Tamil palamoli that is suitable for the meaning of this look before you leap? Can you think about it? Look before you leap. ஆழம் தெரியாமல் காலை விடாதே. ஆழம் தெரியாமல் காலை விடாதே. கால். So don't jump into anywhere. Don't do anything unless, don't take a risk unless you have found out something about it. Otherwise it's not safe. Most of these proverbs are written for our safety, like an advice for us, and people kept on, by word of mouth it was passed on to others, and now it's written everywhere. Even the Tamil palamoligal, பழைய ஆட்கள் கவனமாக எழுதி வைத்தார்கள். முதல் ஆட்களுக்கு சொல்றது, word by mouth, you pass it on to others. But now you can read it in books, you can find out the meaning. In dictionaries you can find out single words, but dictionaries won't give you the meaning of the whole palamoli. You can't look for it. So you have to ask people. You have to read somewhere to find out what it means in Tamil. Some palamoliகள் may not be there in Tamil, but most of it is there. ஆழம் தெரியாமல் காலை விடாதே. ஆழம் தெரியாமல் காலை விடாதே. What goes up must come down. What goes up must come down. Where will you use it? Don't get carried away with your rice or power. Don't get carried away. It must come down. Everything has a fall one day. And the higher you go, the longer you have to fall. The higher you go, they say, more distance you have to come down. So what goes up must come down. What's the Tamil equivalent for it? ஏற்றம் உண்டானால் தாழ்வும் உண்டு. ஏற்றம் உண்டானால் தாழ்வும் உண்டு. Find out the meanings of the equal Tamil palamoliகள் for next week. Until then, goodbye.